I'm having another crack at this new version of Facebook Live. I could never. Okay, now it says I'm live. So hopefully that's that. Okay, so I got a request to do a little video on referencing for history students. Oh no, I wanted to share my screen with everybody so that I could step through some stuff, but it won't let me. That's really annoying. Oh well, not to worry. So there are two different types of referencing that you'll find in history essays, and it depends on where you are, which university you're at, as to which one you'll get asked to do. So one is footnoting, and the other one is in-text referencing. I think footnotes are by far the superior form of referencing, and I have had many arguments with people over the years about this. It's just my preference, but also it is just the better way to reference, is it not? Anyway, so that is the form that I have grown up with, I was going to say, but have used so much over the last, it's been a long time, like 15 years. Anyway, so there are a few different types of footnote styles that you can look at, but the best place to go to start with, if you're starting to write a history essay, is to go to the referencing style guide for your subject. It should be included with your course outline or subject outline or whatever your institution calls it, and it will likely say that you need to use either Oxford referencing or Chicago referencing style. They're only slightly different, but if you get used to this in like first year, by third year, you'll be able to just whip up a footnote, no worries, and you'll know exactly what information you need to include in them, where brackets go, where semicolons or colons go, where the year gets listed, and all that sort of stuff. So the earlier in your degree or in your course that you get used to referencing in the way that's expected, the better it'll be. And like I said in my last video on essay writing, it's always worth taking the time to tidy up your referencing and footnotes and bibliography and all of that, because it's one of the first things that your markers will look at, especially if there's someone who's been around academia for a long time. And even more so if it's someone who's been an editor in any form or another. And a lot of us have gone through the process of writing a thesis by the time we're marking a student's work, and have had to edit our own theses before they get submitted, and so you have to be really anal retentive about it. So what I might do, because I can't share the screen, I might just put in the links below this video to the online version of Chicago Manual of Style, because that lists out how to cite your sources in the footnotes really well. That's the one I used when I was at Melbourne Uni. And then for Deakin, I think it was Oxford referencing style, which is, like I said, slightly different. Some universities will ask you to do in-text, like APA style. So that looks different and has a different set of rules, and the referencing goes in the text. Some students at work I've seen will end up using like a blend of in-text referencing and footnotes. It's an easy mistake to make, but make sure that you've figured out which style is required for whichever subject you're doing. It doesn't even have to be history, it's always worth checking. And then do whichever one's prescribed and do it well. And always worth, if you're wondering, do I include a reference here, don't I would always say err on the side of caution and put one in. And put one in at the closest punctuation point. So don't just put in a footnote mid-sentence at the end of a word. Find the nearest comma or full stop and then put in your footnote. Make sure that they're set to footnotes and not endnotes if that's required. It's very rare that you'll get a subject asking you to do endnotes instead of footnotes. You might get that if you're being asked to publish somewhere, but not for the undergraduate level usually. what else can I say? Don't forget the bibliography. It's always slightly different because you have to have the author's surname first and then organize it by alphabetical order in the bibliography. So that's just something to be conscious of. You'll have one set of rules for how you organize publication information in your footnotes, and then another set for the bibliography. It's only slightly different. And I always found that kind of a cathartic exercise to go through at the end of an essay, is to go through and find all the sources that I had used and neatly organize them for the bibliography. Nerd alert. Anyway, so that's about all I can think of for referencing tips and tricks. But yeah, like I said, once you figured out what referencing style is needed for your subject, excuse me, losing my voice. Yeah, once you figured that out, you're home and hosed. I almost did a double major in history and archaeology in undergrad at La Trobe, and it used to get me every time that I would have to do in text for archaeology subjects, but footnotes for history. And I don't know. There's something about in-text referencing that disrupts the flow of the writing for me, and so it makes me irritated. Whereas a historian's footnotes, they don't disrupt the writing at all. You can opt in to looking at them when you feel like it. You can check them later. I don't like endnotes either because now I'm really on a tangent. I don't like it because you have to go flicking through the chapter to the end of the chapter or to the end of the book to find out the source that's been used. I just want to find it quickly if I want to. That's all. That's all I want. Anyway, so yeah, that's this could go on and on. It's been a long time of dealing with footnotes. Which reminds me, actually, I have a publication I need to tidy up some footnotes on. Okay, I'll get onto that. I've just been cleaning up the house because the boys are not here, but also I think they're going to go back to childcare this week if there are no massive outbreaks of coronavirus. That should go to plan, which means I might actually be able to get some proper work done. Wow. Anyway, I hope you all have a great weekend. For anyone in Melbourne who's enjoying the lifted restrictions, have fun. Enjoy each other's company. It's so nice to be able to see other adults, I've got to say. Not that I've been out much yet, but tomorrow I think I'll go see my mum and dad, and that'll be nice. So yeah, take care, and I'll speak to you soon. Oh yeah, and let me know if there are any other questions because I might have forgotten something. Okay, how do I turn this off now?